Let me introduce myself. I am Maria Perifanou, and I'm senior researcher at the University of Macedonia that coordinates the OpenLang Network project. I'm the scientific manager of the project, and our consortium consists of 4 partners: the University of Macedonia, as I said, the Open University of UK, the Cyprus University of Technology, and Pixel, that is an international education and training institution from Italy. And I would like to introduce you to our wonderful team here. Professor Anastasios Economidis, Dr. Alexander Mikroyanidis, Dr. Panagiotis Kosmas, and Antonio Giordano. So Anastasios Economidis will start and welcome you, and then you will take also the lead.
Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for participating in this webinar. I am the project coordinator at the University of Macedonia, and Maria Perifanou is the scientific coordinator and manager of the project. She runs all the scientific issues of the project. So welcome again from our point.
Alexander, can you continue?
Yes, thank you, Maria. I'm Alexander Mikroyanidis. I'm a research fellow at the Open University in the UK, and within this project, within the OpenLang network, I'm the technical coordinator, and I'm in charge of the OpenLang network platform, our beautiful platform, which I will present later on.
Wonderful. And Panagiotis?
Hello everyone for the introduction. I am Panagiotis Kosmas from Cyprus. I represent the Cyprus University of Technology in this wonderful project. We are leading 3 amazing outputs, and we will have the chance to discuss about this later on. So welcome to this webinar. I'm happy to have you all in this. Thank you.
Thank you, Panagiotis. And Antonio?
Hi, everybody. This is Antonio Giordano from Pixel, which is a training agency located in Florence, Italy. We are a partner within this wonderful project, and we are mainly in charge of the dissemination of the activities themselves. And so welcome to this webinar.
Very nice. Thank you all. So I will continue with the description of the outline of our presentation. So the introductions now are done, and we continue. We will start with the overview of the OpenLang network project. Then we will continue with the mapping, with the presentation of the survey of the results of our survey mapping the language learning profile and Erasmus KN1 mobility participants. This presentation will be done by Panagiotis Kosmas. And then Alexander Mikroyanidis will describe our OpenLang platform. And then we will open a discussion with you via our chat and Twitter. Don't forget that you can use also our hashtag OpenLang network. And in the end, we will do the announcements and we will wrap up our presentation here, our webinar. So I continue with the presentation of the overall objectives of our project. The OpenLang network project addresses the needs for linguistic skills and cultural awareness of Erasmus K1 mobility participants and the training needs of open educational resources of language teachers. So the overall objectives of our project is specifically at developing the OpenLang network, which envisages to connect all the Erasmus K1 mobility participants, so higher education students and staff, vocational training, adult and school education staff, young learners, youth entrepreneurs, in an informal and open and highly interactive online environment, which could support more efficiently their effort to raise language awareness of the target mobility of EU languages and to develop European cultural knowledge. In fact, we want to support this mobility, let's say participants, Erasmus mobility participants, who are going to visit a new country in order to work and to study. So we would like to offer this service in order to facilitate their language awareness and cultural awareness. But in order to do that, the project aims to welcome and to invite language teachers all over the world to join this network and to voluntarily support this initiative. And as a reward, what we are going to do is to offer to all these people who will participate, let's say, to this initiative, to get certified professional training on creating, sharing, and using open educational resources. And this will be done. It will be a massive open online course that we will launch in the beginning of 2021. And the idea is to support these groups. So also, I would like to refer to the network that our network would like to enhance the formal online linguistic support of European Union. This European service that is offering also the services of language awareness, but we would like to support this service and to offer a truly informal and authentic language learning experience which will address the language needs of every European. So the idea is that everyone can, let's say, connect to this platform before the study and after the study of this Erasmus mobility. And the project aims at connecting both groups, Erasmus mobility participants and volunteers language teachers, in an interactive, collaborative environment, web-based and mobile-based, that will support more efficiently their effort to raise language awareness and the target mobility of EU languages. So this about the platform, as we said, Alexander Mikroyanidis will discuss and give all the details. And now let's see a little bit what kind of intellectual outputs we have and what we have produced so far and what we are planning to produce. So the intellectual output one, the mapping the language learning profile of the Erasmus K1 mobility participants, is a survey that we have done, but it is still open for all of you because we took our first, let's say, our first feedback in order to continue with the development of the other intellectual output. More information about the results of the first launch, let's say, of this survey will be discussed by Panagiotis Kosmas from CUT. And then the intellectual output 2 was developed by the University of Macedonia. And we have done research about how, let's say, what is a research in which we established and we wrote how we have designed pedagogically this platform. So it is an extensive research and it is something that we will offer, of course, as an open educational resource to everyone who will visit our website. So I continue with the intellectual output 3. This is an output that was developed by the University of Cyprus, by CUT, Cyprus University of Technology. So here we have gathered 24 language placement tests, and it's an online database. So this is something that you will use as soon as you log in, let's say, in our platform. You can take this test to see in which level you are. And then we continue with the intellectual output 4. This is a training material that that the University of Macedonia has developed. It's a quality framework for language OERs. This is something that you will use in your training session, but of course it will be open to everyone who would like to have this information by visiting our website. The intellectual output 5 is an e-toolkit for open language resources and practices. So this is also training material that you will use in our massive open online course. Of course, this again, it will be an open resource for everyone who would like to have a look. It will be uploaded on our website. The intellectual output 6 is developed by the Open University of UK, and Alexander Mikroyanidis will discuss and present this to you, all the services and everything he has done so far. And then we have the OpenLang MOOC that we are working on this. We're preparing everything, and the launch will be, as I said, at the beginning of 2021. And we would like you to join us. If you have interest in this, we will do our best to offer our best training services. We haven't started yet the intellectual output 10, the learning analytics report, but we will see and we will monitor generally how the training will go, and we will make modifications in order to do the best for our platform. And we have also the intellectual output 11, and to see how we will work and we will disseminate, let's say, this nice platform after the project period. Wonderful. So now I will pass the word to my colleague Panagiotis Kosmas, and thank you very much for listening to me.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Maria, for the introduction to the project. So as Maria said, this is the first deliverable, is the first output of our project, and I will try to share with you the results that we have so far in regards to mapping the language learning profile of the Erasmus Plus mobility participants. The aim of this output is actually to analyze and present the language and cultural needs of the participants who were involved in this kind of mobility in the context of Erasmus Plus Key Action 1, and provide a piece of new knowledge regarding their profile. Our emphasis is on the creation of new strategies in order to facilitate further the mobility in this context, and to promote as well the idea of multilingualism across European Union. The contribution of this output is to inform the people who would like to participate in this kind of mobilities about the requirements and needs during their mobility. We believe that this deliverable will be also helpful and useful for higher education institutions, national Erasmus officers and Erasmus Plus program officials, because they will have the chance to, based on our data, to create and design better policies and strategies to support further the participants during their mobility. In this context, we have created an online questionnaire to be distributed online. And also we have conducted semi-structured interviews with some stakeholders in this area of Erasmus+. First, the questionnaire focuses on 4 different pillars. such as the profile of the participants in the mobilities, the needs and expectations and benefits from the mobility, language and cultural needs, and also their learning preferences in an online environment, in learning a new language, a foreign language. As I said before, we have also collected data from 9 semi-structured interviews with the aim to collect additional information on needs on needs that participants have during their mobility. And we have collected in total 9 interviews from 4 different countries, Cyprus, Greece, UK, and Italy. Starting with the results from the online questionnaire, so far we have 168 responses from 32 countries. The questionnaire is still open. We're still collecting data. So far, the majority of the participants in the survey were higher education students who were involved in the mobility during their studies. In regard to motivations, the 3 top motivations for participants are to gain academic work or study experience in another European country, to learn a new language, a new culture, and to discover a new place. While other reasons and other motivations include improve their academic or professional qualifications, improve or gain language skills, improve or gain language skill for specific purposes. About the linguistic challenges, it seems that the biggest challenges, according to the participants, is to communicate in everyday instances. While the difficulty to understand the regional accents or dialects and to understand the academic language are also considerable and are also important challenges and difficulties for them. As for the learning preferences, participants prefer visual and interactive ways in an online environment to learn a new language and prefer to working in groups instead of working individually. As for the qualitative data that we received from semi-structured interviews, these qualitative data are in line with the data that we received from online survey. All the participants agree that people who choose to go in a mobility need further linguistic support and also cultural support. And as one participant, key stakeholder, pointed out, students are afraid of a foreign language. They face many difficulties because of the language. This is one of the factors that people don't want to participate in Erasmus mobility. To conclude, it is obvious that the participants in the Erasmus plus KA1 mobility need further linguistic support before or during their mobility in another European country. It seems that the biggest linguistic challenge for them is to communicate with the local people in the host country, and it's important to say that the linguistic and language needs for students, not only for students but also for all the participants in this mobility, outgoing and incoming participants, is an important factor for one successful and effective mobility in another country. As I said before, we are still collecting data from the online survey. The survey is still open, so I would like to, if you have only 10 minutes to take the questionnaire to share with us your experience and your thoughts in regards to the mobility in another country. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Panagiotis. It was really nice and very clear. So, Alex, can you please continue with the description of the platform?
Yes, I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, very nice.
Great. So I'll try to take control and show you the next slide. All right, so the platform. This is a central focus point for the project because it is the actual online environment which brings together language learners and teachers in order to build a European community and to enable exchanges, sharing of best practices, of open educational resources around language learning. The platform is a collaborative environment, a multi-service environment. These are some of the services that it offers. For example, a personalized dashboard, an environment where someone can find a tandem learning partner to study a European language. We have collaborative forums, databases of open educational resources. We will soon be launching a MOOC for language teachers, and we have a responsive design which is accessible through different devices, tablets, smartphones, etc. The main design choices of our platform are shown in the next slide. Apologies, it takes a while to move forward. Right, so these are some of our design principles. I'll go through them quickly. The platform promotes an open approach for language learning, teaching, and support. It is dynamic, flexible, and offers different ways for customization of both the front end and also the back end. It is interoperable, which means it supports extraction of data, import and export of data through standard specifications. We understand also the need for a mobile interface because we have participants across Europe who don't always have an access to desktop or laptop computer, and they need to access the platform from different countries and possibly also while traveling. Community support, falling back to a community of developers for regular updates to the code base, and also bug fixing is quite important, plus the delivery of new features. In the next slide, I will show you some of our services that we have, that we offer. The first screenshot of our this is a screenshot of our homepage, where you can see some of the activities and courses that are being offered. For example, we have the language placement tests for all European languages, the tandem language learning area where you can find learning partners, recommended OER by the consortium. These are of high quality, hand-picked language learning, open educational resources. And there is also community areas where you can share language learning resources and also perform community discussions. Additionally, we offer pathways, learning pathways, which structure the way, provide scaffolding and structure the platform can be used by either language learners or teachers. In the next slide, I'll show you some of the interfaces that we offer within the platform. This is just a tease. You're obviously invited to access the platform, which is open for the public, for anyone to join and find out more about this, find out more of its offerings. So in this first screenshot, you can see the interface for finding language learning partners. So obviously, a crucial part of building this community is identifying language partners that have the same language needs, that can study together, or language teachers that can offer training services. So through this very simple faceted search interface, you can specify the language that you wish to study and also your language level, and then you can see you can find people, members of the community with a similar language proficiency level. In the next screenshot, you'll see the faceted search interface for open educational resources. This is again a very simple, clean interface offering facets, or you may call them filters, which let you specify the language, the target language of the resource, the level of the resource, the institution which is offering it, and the type of the resource. And as the platform is still under development, we are continuously enriching this interface with additional metadata. And we also have, as I mentioned before, a community area where anyone can upload and share their language together with the associated metadata. So finally, I would like to say a few words about where we are going with this. The platform is still under development, and it will be until the end of the project. We want your feedback. We want you to join the platform. You can see the link at the end, and at the end of the bottom of the slide, and you will also see it in the next slides. We will be launching a MOOC soon, and we want you to join the platform, join the MOOC, give us your feedback so we can build a better community and offer you better services. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. So, one moment. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. So, Antonio, tell us, what do you see? Do we have any questions?
For the instance, hi again, everybody. For the instance, we have just Tanya Mueller who asked for the link. I guess it would be the link to the project portal. And I'm pretty sure that Alexander is typing it because I see his fingers on the keyboard. So we will soon have the link to the project portal. Any other question? I've been checking also the Twitter account. It seems that, yeah, there are two possibilities. We have been really good. You have been really good in the presentation. So no question from the audience. Otherwise, nobody really listened to you. But I guess you have been really, really good in your presentations as the presenters. Explained. The project is really, really interesting, but we would need your support in order to expand this, in order to have a lot of people creating this network. And yes, Tamari, the project is funded within Erasmus Plus program.
Okay, but we can also ask people, we can start a conversation with the audience.
We can start a kind of pool. The coordinating institution is University of Macedonia, represented here by by Maria Perifanu and Anastasio Economides.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for clarifying. Yes.
Good. So,
Wonderful.
Maria, if we have questions, so let's do the other way around. So no question from the audience. Let's do some questions to the audience.
Well, yes, I would like to ask something that is really interesting to me to know. If anyone of the audience has participated so far in an Erasmus mobility, and if yes, probably can share this information about what problems faced regarding language and culture awareness. So this is what we want to support. So if someone can share an experience, it would be really nice for us. Yes, please. I see Tamari, see?
Yes, can I also? So let me, so greet you from Georgia. Actually, I'm based in Georgia. So Batumi, it's like a seaside town. And so let me mention about my experience of like being just as a participant of Erasmus Mobility Plus project twice. I was visiting University of Porto from my home institution, yes, which is Robakidze University. By the way, we have very nice friends in Macedonia. So they are founders of European Scientific Institute, and because we organize conferences together in Georgia. And my home institution so gave me this opportunity to visit the University of Porto, but it was a teaching mobility in 2016. But as I was actually so teaching EFL, the Faculty of Humanities, in this case, there was no problem of cross-cultural communication because it's like, so in this case, when you are fluent in English and actually, and of course, Portuguese, just hosting professors, they were really nice. And coordinators, they really did amazing job. So this was my first experience, which actually satisfied and met my all expectations, because that for the third time I mostly was like an assistant professor, and I was actually very much interested about some research opportunities. That's why this project somehow just motivated me to apply for the Mobility Unlimited project recently, which I did it yesterday. And I really hope to get in touch with my former colleagues, because I started I deepened my research activity in terms of English for specific purposes, which is very, I have to say, developing field in not only in Georgia, country, and it's a field which is really requires a lot of efforts and sharing of the expertise from more experienced partners. And one more thing, one more mobility which I did, it was in 2018. It was by University of Friedrich Schiller in Vienna, in Germany. It was related to some teaching, and I was teaching legal English as ESP as well business communication. Together with my brilliant hosting professor, as it was like a 2-week mobility, so it was taken for the 2 recurrent years, and I can say that. So I really just can recall this like a really very worth and really very just valuable experience in my teaching activity, because I think that such kind of programs really actually help us to get introduced not only with the specifics of teaching language or teaching any discipline. This can be not only a language, but this can be another discipline, because I also teach a business communications, and I also recently started to teach communication and language philosophy at an online university in Italy. So when being a guest lecturer, this is a very, I have to say, valuable experience, because it not only just helps you to be developed as a practicing teacher, but also meet more experienced people and researchers and enjoying. But I really would like what I really like from this project, that So, you know, as a result of this mobility, so you do it, you perform it well, but somehow, yeah, I would say I cannot see like a long-term just cooperation possibility. So that's why, in case of like, in case of my opportunity of being like elected for this similar program, I really would be really more than willing to make it more, I have to say, viable and more just long purpose oriented. This is very much what I really would like, because for developing country like Georgia, so this is really very important because joint research, joint publications. So this is something what we really are in a great need of. So, and of course, if your university, because I just would like to apologize because I joined the meeting somehow like it was not like a beginning part, but still I would be really interested maybe just to learn more about your activity. So how you are connecting, like how is it related to Erasmus mobility or something like this?
Okay,
Thank you very much for listening. Yes.
I have a question. So that means that you had a mobility in Portugal and you had a mobility also in Germany.
Yes.
And let's say that when you went to this place, so did you learn anything, any Portuguese, or did you learn anything from this culture, the Portuguese culture? So it would be for you, as I understood, as a language teacher, usually you used your English in order to communicate. But for this period that you were there and you worked there, did you also take any linguistic support before and after? So Portuguese or German?
I was not in need maybe, but Maria, let me just explain that during my mobility in Portugal, so I really did my best and I was attending the classes, but what I really liked, this was like intercultural just encounter with like a new culture, because I can say that of course they did their best, but there was no maybe Erasmus book, something like this, no possibility for getting me acquainted with the traditional culture. I did it myself on my own. I traveled to Lisbon as well, like on my just departure day, something. But of course, this is a country where I really appreciate the people there. They are very warm, because even outsiders. So this was a very good university in Porto, but really, so I somehow liked, I wanted more connection. I want more communication, because because when I can share my experience of Germany. It was a Friedrich Schiller University, where I was living with a hosting professor. She was from England, but she was like a citizen of Germany. But this was a really unique opportunity for me in order to get to know with their lifestyle, so communicating with the other colleagues. And this lady, so Hazel Klein, has definitely helped me to just take more from this mobility.
Okay,
and apart from like,
this is
very important. This is very important.
Okay, thank you very much. And this is what we want to do with this platform.
Nice.
We want what we want to offer is a service. So if I want to go to take a mobility, Erasmus mobility, to another country, and I would like to learn to practice and to learn a language before I go there, I can join the platform and I can start working on learning something and getting prepared before I go. But I can continue this even when I will be in my, let's say, mobility. So during my mobility, I can also train, I continue my training, and even after. So it's a support for all the people who are planning to have this kind of, let's say, mobility experience. And we would really welcome all people to try it, because from our feedback, we have seen that usually people don't focus on the language of the country that they visit. They have problems in understanding the language or the culture. And usually they use only, let's say, English.
English, the international language. Yeah.
Yes, this is why we want to offer the possibility to people to discover the 24 languages of Europe that are all wonderful, and we say that okay, of course you are not going to. It is not so easy to have. Really advanced or to reach an advanced, let's say, level. But in some cases, from what we have seen from our research, we saw that some people who took an Erasmus mobility for 6 months, they have reached advanced levels, and they would prefer to have also a linguistic support.
Yeah.
So Anastasios Economidis will also now give us more information about the MOOC that we are going to launch beginning of 2020. Thank you very much for your feedback.
It was my pleasure. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk a little about the MOOC, Massive Open Online Course, for those who don't know what is a MOOC. Also, take notice that next week is a week devoted to openness, openness in education, open educational resources, MOOCs, and not only this. So, in the beginning of 2021, we will launch the MOOC that is let's say, the destination of this project. On the MOOC, we will have open educational resources and also educational material for teachers to how to use the open educational resources in order to teach foreign languages to students, and not only young students, but also adult learners. So if you want to participate in this MOOC, please state your intention. We have a link here, how to join the OpenLang Network platform. And also we would appreciate if you take the survey on the language learning learners profiles. This is a preliminary result has been presented by Panagiotis Kosmas earlier. Until now, we have 158 responses, but we would appreciate if we can collect many more responses. Also, please take the short survey. It takes only 1-2 minutes. It's a very short survey on language placement tests. And we want to know the opinion of language teachers on what test what placement test they think that it is better to use in order to profile students in all 24 European languages. Usually we have information about English language, but we don't have information about other less spoken languages, and we have a lot of them in Europe. So we would like to have such kind of information about language placement tests. So if you teach other languages, any of these 24 languages in Europe, please state your opinion, your experience about language placement tests. Okay, thank you also for your attention.
I don't know if Panagiotis, you want to say something more about the test and what way we have done this selection, because if you want...
Sorry, Maria, I interrupt you. I forgot to say that the teachers that will take the MOOC will take a certification. So if you successfully complete the course, you will take a certification on this. So sorry, Maria, for interruption.
No, it's okay. We can also say that it will, the duration of the MOOC will be for 4 weeks, and we will try to also interactivity. So it will not only we just have the material online and you do some activities. We will try really to interact and to have a very good feedback, to give you very good feedback as well. Panagiotis, since we have some time, if you want to say also something about the placement test and
Yes.
what we have done for this,
Mhm.
it's also
Yes.
nice.
So far we have found language placement tests for 24 languages in European Union. We have tested most of them, and we have found from the literature the criteria in order to select the most appropriate ones and to upload them in our platform. I think all the placement tests that we found are already in the platform, so you can go there and test your knowledge in one of these languages. So we are working on it, and probably some tests will be replaced with some others, but for now, yes, we are still working on it.
But it would be nice to say that we had this difficulty in finding language placement tests in all 24 languages. So there is a big variety, let's say, in the 5-6 most common languages. But for the others, we had to, let's say, really do a very good research in order to track them. So this is, yes.
It was very hard to find all this, 24 language placement tests, but I think we are, for now, we are in a right, let's say, path, and we are trying to find the most appropriate ones.
And this is what European Union also supports. It is the vision of multilingualism and the multiculturalism. And this is what we want also to promote with our project, because we are so lucky to live and to be in Europe and to have this treasure, linguistic treasure and cultural treasure. So for us, it is really important to show this, and let's see how many people will join us and will discover this together with us. And I also would like to invite you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter in order to see what we are doing, and you are going to get notifications from us. And of course, we are open for collaboration. And if whatever you need, you just send us either a message on our website or on Twitter or on Facebook. We will be very happy to work with you and to, let's say, communicate new ideas. If you have any other questions, Antonio, do we have any other questions?
We've been replying to the questions in the chat. Maybe there is this last one from Sophia.
Okay, yes,
does this platform hold any language certification, have any European recognition?
Language certification. So we will, what we are going to offer is a certified training. So teachers who are going to take the Massive Open Online course will get a certification from all our organizations. So this is something that it's important, and you can use in your curriculum vitae, because this training will have a validity. So any other questions? We have some time.
It seems we replied to all the questions by chat. And thanks to Marina for these congratulations. It seems there is no other question.
Thank you all. Okay. Thank you all for participating in our webinar. Okay, so let's say last question from me. Are you planning to join our massive open online course or our platform? We will be happy to see you there if you have interest in our work. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions, we can close this nice conversation we had. We are very happy to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I also leave you some time also, Antonio, you can also say bye, and the rest of you, so we can thank
Thanks
people.
for this opportunity. Hi, everybody, and thanks for participating in this webinar. I'm pretty sure we will meet again, and we will be happy to have you on board of this project.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you all.
Thank you. It was our.
Thank you for attending the webinar. Hope to see you in our MOOC